Salutations, my name is Summer, and that is, I want to say that's Roger, but that's Sterling. They're both black cats, but Sterling does have some white on his chest where Roger is like completely black. I got Prim sleeping and Rolo sleeping beside me. Real quickly, I want to go over these because I need to leave for work. And I just woke up and for 2 weeks, I've had this sinus infection, cold. I'm not even sure what it was, but it was nasty. Anyway, but I did some reading, and I'm enjoying everything that I'm reading right now. One thing I want to mention real quick, on my Kindle, I'm reading King Sorrow by Joe Hill. It was gifted to me, and oh my goodness, it is so good. I want to say I'm like 30% through, and Joe Hill, everybody wants to compare him to Stephen King, his father, which I'm a big Stephen King fan. But Joe Hill, I feel like I don't know how to explain it. He's cleaner in his descriptions and writing, where Stephen King is more gritty, and I don't know how to explain that, but I love both of their stories and how they write and everything. One thing that I absolutely love, which Stephen King does also, is that Sterling just jumped up here and he almost jumped on Prim, and she kind of like, Anyway, but one thing I absolutely love is that they talk about books so much in their books, and that's a favorite thing for me. So anyway, already they have mentioned John Smith and Greg Stilson, who are our two main characters in The Dead Zone by Stephen King, and this is a fantastic book. I've read it a couple times, once when I was a teenager and once, I don't know, maybe in my early 30s, so it's been a long time. I need to do a reread. And here's Sterling trying to climb up on my books. His tail. Anyway, so I'm loving that read right now, and it's so Lawless by John Jakes has been set aside while I'm reading that because I just couldn't wait. Something that I finished that I absolutely loved. I'm going to link Mark over at Book Time with Elvis, his channel, because he's doing December de Maurier, something like that. But anyway, I'll link his channel down below where you read anything by, I think right now it's just Daphne du Maurier, but I think he's going to open it up later in the years to everybody else in the family. But I read The House on the Strand, and I read this like so quickly. This is my favorite Daphne du Maurier as of right now. And I'm watching Sterling while he's acting like he's going to knock everything over. So I've read Rebecca, Jamaica Inn, My Cousin Rachel, which My Cousin Rachel was slow moving, but the ending was very good. A bit of a surprise to me. And then I've read some of her short stories, which I loved her short stories, which I'm not a short story person. But this, our main character, I loved everything about just his character, what he's doing. I love the historical fiction. This is about time travel. It's taking a drug and traveling through time and the consequences, and mixing reality with, did these things really happen? If you can find them that they did happen in history, how much is just like a reflection of things that you already know to what is really happening. I absolutely loved this. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So it just made me so happy. Because it was so different. This is so different. This is more like how she writes her short stories, in the sense of this is a full novel. It's about one character all the way through. But what I mean by it's like her short stories is she's so creative in her short stories, where her other novels, I don't know, maybe it's just because I read Rebecca as I'm older, so to me it didn't have that, I don't know, it's definitely overhyped too, I feel, And I don't know. But this, if you were going to read Daphne du Maurier, I would recommend this one just because it's my favorite. And Rolla now is awake. I don't know if he'll let me show you how adorable he is. Okay, so something else that I read and finished, because I finished that. This is a library book. It was the library book club pick, but since I work third, I never get to the book club. But I love my library. I love the librarians. They are both fantastic women. Anyway, the book that was chosen was The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ally Carter. And this, I'm not a romantic reader. I get irritated very easily with romance in books like this. But here again, we're talking about other books like Agatha Christie and different authors we're talking about. This was a mystery. I did like both of our two main characters. I like that there was a lot they didn't know, and they were, assuming that they knew who the other person was, their character, and then they realized they didn't know them at all. But this was really cute. I read it quickly. It was a lot of fun. So, and I think my mom really enjoyed it too. So I think the only other thing that I am working on right now is there's a group, and I can just think of Pat and Alan, Book Chat with Pat and Alan Reads right now. I don't know who started this group. I don't know if it was just a group of people started it, or if there's a specific person. I need to find that out because I need to give them credit if it was a specific person. But there's a group called, a book club group called The World According to John Irving, and they read the Cider House Rules last month, and I think I read it the month before. I loved it. And right now we are reading Queen Esther by John Irving. This is due back to the library. I'm fortunate that I was gifted the ebook on my Kindle, so that's what I've been reading it on. I'm only on chapter 8, so I haven't commented yet on the group on Voxer. But I'll link Alan and Pat's information below, their channel. So I'm only on chapter 8, and there's a set. You can read it however you want to read it, but there is a setup where the first week of December you're reading chapters 1 through 10. I think it adds up to being 100 pages a week, which is definitely doable. But I'm only on chapter 8 because of King's Sorrow. But I'm really enjoying this. This is about the Winslow family, and it starts talking about them and their character of who they are as a family, and I really enjoyed that. They're both like, education is really important to them. For all their they have 3 girls, and then later on they have a 4th, and they go and they get an equal. I can't remember, it's French what they call the girl that the orphan that they get to help their girl, but they raise them as their own. They put them through school. They're family, but they go to St. Cloud, which St. Cloud is an orphanage that we had in the Cider House Rules, to get Esther. And this is kind of deceiving in a sense, because Esther is like 3 going on 4 when she gets to when she's dropped off at St. Cloud's. But by the time she gets with the Winslow family, she's 14. So this is such a sweet cover, though. It definitely pulls at the heartstrings. But I'm enjoying this. It's a John. I mean, he just wrote this, which is just. I'm impressed that he did. But I am enjoying it. I don't know if I'm enjoying it as much as Cider House Rules, but whatever. I don't feel like I should compare something he has written so long ago with what he's writing right now. But it definitely feels like he has the same feeling of a John Irving, and I'm really enjoying it. So hopefully tonight at work I'll have some time to read till chapter 10, read chapter 9. I think I'm just on 8, so 8, 9, and 10. Anyway, I think I'm kind of scatterbrained, but I think that's all that I need to talk about right now. As soon as I finish something, I will be back on Lawless by John Jakes, because I'm about halfway through, and it's fantastic, like all the other 6 books before it. And I would like to finish it, but I'm not going to rush it. It's so good. If I finish Lawless this month and then am reading the final book in January, I will be very happy with that. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well and staying warm or staying cool, depending on where you live. And let me know what you're reading and how you're doing. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.